An anime opens with Yuichi, a second-year high schooler who was born into poverty. To cover his daily necessities, he works multiple part-time jobs. Lately, however, he has been pushing himself even harder just so he can afford to join the school trip with his closest friends. When he finally submits the fee at the last moment, all of Uichi's friends are overjoyed. We are then introduced to Shib, the son of a rich businessman, Shiho, the class vice president, Tenji, the top-ranking student, and Kokoroji, a gentle girl who gets along with everyone. Even though he grew up poor, Uichi believes he is extremely fortunate because he is surrounded by such amazing friends, and he hopes their bond will last forever, unaware that everything is about to change. During 6th period, the homeroom teacher announces that the 2 million yen collected for the school trip has gone missing. Shib and Shiho were responsible for collecting and safeguarding the money. However, during 5th period, while Shiho was away, someone stole it from her locker. She desperately begs whoever took it to return the money, but no one comes forward. From the following day, both Shiho and Shib stop attending school, and suspicion begins to fall on them since no one can contact them. Even Uichi and the others are unable to defend them. Later, we see Uichi inside his apartment doing part-time work when the doorbell suddenly rings. He receives a letter, and upon reading it, he realizes it is from Sawaraji. In the letter, she writes that she wants to discuss something important and asks him to meet her near the school at 11 p.m. That night, when Uichi arrives at the location on time, he is shocked to find all of his friends already there. Confused, he wonders why everyone has gathered. His friends immediately accuse him, saying they came because he called them there, and on top of that, he arrived late. They then question why he left letters outside each of their homes. When Uichi hears that letters were sent in his name, he is completely stunned. He reads them one by one, growing more confused and shocked because he never sent any letters to anyone. Suddenly, Sawaraji's voice tells him to look behind. The moment he turns around, someone shocks him from behind with an electric device, causing him to lose consciousness. While fading out, Uichi sees his friends being taken away by someone. As he passes out, memories surface, first, of a large man telling him that money is the most important thing in the world, and then of his mother saying that something even more valuable than money is his friends. Uichi eventually wakes up to find himself lying in a white room, with all his friends gathered there as well. Sawaraji asks if he is okay. Suddenly, a small toy-like creature appears in the center of the room. Kokoroji explains that it is actually an animator. Although it looks cute, its actions are incredibly dangerous. Its name is Manabo. Manabo looks around and greets them, saying they don't need to do anything difficult, only play a simple game. If they win every game, they will receive 2 million yen, and in each game, they will also get a chance to clear a 20 million yen debt. The moment they hear about a 20 million yen debt, everyone freezes in shock, unable to understand how such an enormous debt could suddenly exist. Uichi grabs Manabo in anger and demands an explanation. Calmly, Manabo replies that one person among Uichi's friends is carrying a 20 million yen debt. Shib quickly steps in to stop Uichi from losing control. Tenji then questions Manabo further and slowly realizes that only one person among them has that massive debt, and if they complete the game together, everyone can be freed. Tenji accuses Manabo of kidnapping and says he will be charged for it. Manabo simply laughs and explains that someone among them voluntarily applied to play the game and even paid the 2 million yen entry fee. Uichi immediately suspects that the money stolen from the school was used to pay for this game, meaning one of his friends is a traitor who caused everything. Tenji asks what will happen if they all refuse to play. Manabo casually replies that nothing special will happen, they can go home, but the 2 million yen will be kept, and the 20 million yen debt will be split among all 5 of them. This would give each person a sudden 4 million yen debt that they must repay. If they choose to play, they can reduce that debt, but if someone fails, their debt will increase instead. Manabo also hints at a hidden twist that will be revealed later. Everyone begins arguing about what to do, questioning who the traitor might be and who holds the 20 million yen debt. Sawaraji then says that since they are all friends, if one of them has such a huge debt, that person must be suffering greatly. Rather than doubting each other, she believes they should help them. Everyone agrees with her, except Uichi, who feels uneasy and suspicious. At that moment, Manabo provokes Uichi, asking whether he is doubting his friends and what matters more to him, money or friendship. Uichi replies that his friends are the most important thing to him. With that decision, they agree to play the Tomodachi game. Manabu then sends them into another room for the first game. The room resembles a classroom, and on a table lie 5 name tags with their names written on them. Manabu tells everyone to pick up their tag and check the number written on it. Each tag shows a debt of -4 million yen. As they win games, their debt will gradually decrease. However, if anyone shows their number to someone else, they will receive a penalty and their debt will double. They are allowed to talk about their debt verbally, but showing it is forbidden. The first game begins, called the yes-no judgment game. A coin is placed on a small board with yes on one side and no on the other. If everyone silently thinks yes, the coin will land on yes. If even one person thinks no, it will land on no, and the same applies in reverse. The coin always follows the single person who answers differently. There are 5 questions in total. If even one question is answered correctly by the group, the game is considered a win, and their debt drops from 40 lakh yen to 36 lakh yen. But breaking the rules may double their debt. If all 5 questions are answered incorrectly, the person with the highest remaining debt will receive a penalty at the end. Before starting, Manabu gives them one warning: never doubt your friends. The game begins. Shib goes first and reads the question from the card. His expression changes as he asks, "Is Mount Fuji the tallest mountain in Japan?" Everyone relaxes, believing it's an easy question with an obvious answer. They place their fingers on the coin, and Manabu asks Kokoroji to announce the result. To everyone's shock, the coin lands on no, even though the correct answer should be yes. This means someone intentionally chose a different answer. Sawaraji tries to speak, but Uichi and Tenji immediately cover her mouth, knowing that talking results in a penalty. Sawaraji then reads the second question: is 1 + 1 = 2? Once again, everyone smiles confidently, but shockingly, the answer becomes no again. This confirms that someone is deliberately betraying the group. Uichi finally realizes that the betrayal is real. We then see a brief flashback showing Shib with an injury on his face, caused by Sawaraji after he proposed to her and she struck him. Shib first went to Tenji and Uichi to ask for guidance. However, Tenji replied that he prefers not to get involved in other people's problems. After that, Shib approached Uichi, and Uichi later spoke with Sawaraji. Sawaraji told Uichi that she would forgive Shib, but only if Uichi revealed a secret that nobody else knew. Uichi eventually shared one of his secrets with her. Then the story shifts back to the present. Tenji reads the third question. Once again, the correct answer should be yes, yet surprisingly, the coin turns to no. Uichi starts losing his patience because if this keeps happening, they will end up losing the entire game. Now it becomes Uichi's turn to read his card. As soon as he looks at it, he is shocked because there is no question written on it. Instead, the card says that the reader must create the question themselves. This makes Uichi realize that everyone before him had been making up questions from their own minds. At the bottom of the card, Uichi notices another important rule. If the coin lands on yes, everyone will win the game. But if it goes to no, the reader, Uichi, will have his debt reduced by half. At that moment, Uichi finally understands why the answer kept turning to no again and again. The game itself was designed to make friends betray each other. He realizes that the earlier readers, Sawaraji, Shib, and Tenji, had all deliberately created situations where answering no would benefit someone. In other words, all 3 intentionally gave wrong answers so their own debts could be reduced. Manabu continues explaining that the winner's debt may decrease, but all of this is only happening inside Uichi's mind as he thinks through the possibilities. Meanwhile, we are shown 2 girls watching everything through a monitor, controlling the game from outside. One of them laughs and says that Uichi has finally begun to doubt his friends. At this point, Uichi cannot decide whether he should choose yes or no, because everyone else's debt has already been cut in half. Here, it's important to note that the condition written on Uichi's card does not have to be the same as the others. This means everyone else may have completely different conditions. It's even possible that the 5th letter had a real question with no special advantage, like reducing debt. In the control room, the second girl then says that no one has ever won this game before. Next, a flashback appears. Uichi remembers Kokoroji telling him that she sees him as a truly honest and genuine friend. Returning to the present, Wichi reads out the question he has chosen and asks, "Are there 7 days in a week?" Instead of acting selfishly, he chooses yes so that Kokoroji can be saved and the game can finally end. But even then, the coin still moves to no, meaning someone answered differently again. Wichi's mind begins to break as he realizes that someone is intentionally trying to make Kokoroji carry all the debt. Now it becomes Kokoroji's turn, and she asks, "Will we still be good friends after this?" Everyone places their fingers on the coin. Suddenly, Wichi breaks the rules by speaking and asks a shocking question: "What color panties is Sawaraji wearing?" Everyone freezes in shock as Wichi keeps provoking them. Eventually, someone else breaks the rules and speaks, because Wichi believes that everyone's debt has already been halved, while his own debt had already doubled earlier due to a rule violation. Wichi then claims that his question card stated that whoever ends the game with the lowest debt will receive the highest debt as a penalty. He tells this lie to shake everyone's confidence. Inside the control room, one girl says that Wichi is clearly lying, but the other believes that Wichi must be planning something else. Wichi lies to force the real traitor into choosing yes. Back in the game room, the round continues. Everyone places their fingers on the coin once more, and this time, the coin finally lands on yes, meaning everyone wins the game. In the control room, the girls comment that Wichi is definitely not an ordinary kid. After the game ends, Wichi asks everyone about their remaining debt. Tenji explains that everyone now has the same amount, 3.6 million yen, because of the rule. If they win, 400,000 yen is subtracted from each person's total debt. Tenji asks if they should reveal their tags, but Wichi stops him, saying that doing so would double their debts. Sawaraji and Shiba ask whether Wichi's debt has doubled, but he answers no. His debt is still 3.6 million yen because it doubled earlier but was then halved again due to his card's condition. Wichi tells everyone that they must prepare for the next game and continue trusting each other. Manabu then leads them to another room for the second game, but Wichi says he will join them shortly because his shoelace has come loose. After everyone leaves, Wichi stays behind, wondering how all their debts could be equal if someone is truly betraying them. He picks up the letters on the table, hoping to identify the traitor, but the ink disappears after some time, making them unreadable. This only increases his frustration. Just then, Sawaraji arrives and asks why Wichi looks upset. Wichi avoids answering and instead asks why she came back. Sawaraji says she feels that someone among them is a traitor, and Wichi agrees. She asks if he knows who it is, and Wichi mentions her name. Wichi explains that he suspected her because, at the start, she told everyone not to doubt their friends and suggested helping the betrayer instead. Hearing this, Sawaraji is shocked and admits that she said that because she believed Wichi himself was the traitor. Wichi gets angry and asks if she suspected him just because he is poor and has no parents. Sawaraji denies it, but Wichi presses her for the real reason. Then Sawaraji says something completely unexpected. She confesses that she likes Wichi. Wichi is left stunned and starts blushing. She asks if he still doubts her, and Wichi replies that he no longer thinks she is the betrayer. Sawaraji then reveals another truth. Her debt is not 3.6 million yen, but 7.6 million yen. When she tried to speak earlier, her voice was recorded, and she received a penalty that doubled her debt. She also explains that during the fifth question, when Wichi tried to save Kokoroji, he accidentally saved Sawaraji instead, because she had the highest debt. Sawaraji promises that she would never betray Wichi and says they will finish the Tomodachi game together. Wichi replies that he trusts her as well. In the control room, the girls discuss how smart Wichi is, especially when money is involved. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Tenji Masu has overheard everything. The next game is announced to take place on the rooftop. Manabu appears again, this time wearing a suit, and says that hiding secrets is not a good thing. This time, everyone must reveal their secrets honestly, because God is watching from above. The game is called Badmouth Sugoroku. The rules appear written in the sky. One by one, each player must enter a private room where they receive a notepad. They must write bad things about their friends and place the paper into a box. Once all 5 slips are collected, Manabu will read them out loud in front of everyone while the gods, the controllers, watch and decide how many steps each player can move. To win the game, at least one member must reach the goal. If that happens, everyone's 4 lakh yen debt will be forgiven. Those still on the board will receive an additional 1 million yen and won't need to play the third game. However, the person who reaches the goal will free everyone else but will personally receive a larger debt later, which will be revealed afterward. Manabu adds that they can write anything they want, such as sheep wearing bugs or Kokoroji wearing bras. But if anything written is proven false, the writer must move to the very front. If someone submits a blank paper while others write, those who wrote will gain advantages, while the blank paper players may suffer major losses. Therefore, everyone is encouraged to write as many bad things as possible about their friends. Manabu tells them to hurry up and complete the game as quickly as they can. Hearing this, Sawaraji gets furious and snaps at him, saying he shouldn't force them into meaningless actions because it's seriously harming their friends. Manabu calmly replies that if she wants, she can submit a blank card. And if every card stays blank, the gods won't inspect anything, and everyone will simply advance one step. Hearing this, she says that means they can all reach the goal together. So Yuichi and the others decide to move forward as a team, agreeing that everyone will turn in blank slips. The game begins, and in the first round, every slip is blank. As a result, everyone moves one step ahead. But immediately after, we see that each person gains an extra 1 lakh yen in debt. Yuichi quickly calculates that if they continue advancing just one step each time, every single person will end up with a debt of 6 million yen by the end. In the second round, once again, all the slips are blank. But this time, instead of 1 lakh, their debt jumps by 5 lakhs. Everyone's expressions turn uneasy while Manabu grins widely, saying that they've only taken 2 steps and already accumulated 6 lakhs of debt. Then he drops a shocking rule. The first person to reach the goal will inherit the entire group's debt. In other words, moving forward together is actually foolish. Sawaraji yells at him, accusing him of tricking them. Then the third round begins. 4 slips are blank, but 1 isn't, meaning someone has betrayed the group. The written slip says that Sawaraji likes Yuichi. Another line claims that Sawaraji and Tenji are ex-girlfriend and ex-boyfriend. After the gods inspect it, they declare both statements true and order Sawaraji to move 5 steps, while everyone else moves only 1. No one loses any points. A heated argument immediately breaks out. She likes Yuichi, and Yuichi likes Sawaraji. Sheep starts shouting at Yuichi, and Tenji tries to calm him down, but Sheep yells back, saying Tenji knows nothing. Tenji responds that he knows everything because he's Sawaraji's ex-boyfriend. Sawaraji screams at Tenji to stop talking nonsense, saying it's all a misunderstanding. She explains that she and Tenji were childhood friends. Her father was a police officer, and Tenji's father was a prosecutor. The 2 fathers were college friends and wanted their children to marry, so Sawaraji and Tenji only pretended to date. She adds that Tenji's father died 2 years ago, and after that, Tenji changed schools. By coincidence, they ended up at the same school again last year. Hearing this, Sheep calms down and says it wasn't real dating, just an act. Manabu interrupts, suggesting that maybe something romantic still happened between them. Tenji admits that he liked Sawaraji before and still likes her now. He shouts at Sheep to stop saying trash about her because it always makes him angry. Tenji suspects that Sheep wrote the slip, but Sheep denies it, saying he didn't write anything and only just learned the truth. The 2 start suspecting each other and arguing. Sheep almost punches Tenji, but Yuichi steps between them and stops the fight, telling them that if they care about her, they shouldn't hurt her feelings. Meanwhile, Kokoroji tells Sawaraji that she likes Yuichi and believes Yuichi likes her too. The 4th round starts. First, Yuichi goes to write, then comes back out. Sawaraji submits a blank slip. When the slips are revealed, the first one says Sheep slept with his mother until junior high. The second says Yuichi once didn't shower for an entire week. The third claims Sawaraji has had plastic surgery. Everyone then moves their steps forward. Shibe asks Sawaraji if the plastic surgery rumor is false. Sawaraji asks him if he would stop liking her if it were actually true. The 5th round begins, and this time, only 1 slip is written, but it's extremely shocking. It says, when Kokoroji was in junior high, she sold her body for money. Kokoroji breaks down completely, crying loudly, and accuses Sawaraji, saying only she knew about her past, so she must have written it. Sawaraji keeps denying it, but Kokoroji refuses to believe her. After thinking for a moment, Sheep says that Kokoroji doesn't look like a virgin and her personality doesn't match her past. Hearing this, Sawaraji gets furious, and Tenji slaps Sheep, warning him never to talk like that about a girl. Tenji then tells Yuichi to take care of Kokoroji while he and Sawaraji step aside. Yuichi stays with Kokoroji, comforting her, while Sheep stands alone. Kokoroji tells Yuichi that the bullying she's facing now is nothing compared to what she went through in junior high. We then see her past. Back then, she was constantly bullied by many students and suffered terribly. She didn't want to worry her mother, so she stayed silent. Neither her friends nor her teachers helped her. Eventually, she found a way to stop the bullying. She started giving money to those who bullied her. When she did, they treated her kindly and even laughed and played with her. Because of this, she began believing that only money could protect her. But as a junior high student, she had very little money, so she searched for ways to earn more. One day, she met a man who said he wanted to talk. Slowly, he started spending time with her. They went to restaurants and parties, grew close, and he bought her clothes and took her photos. At first, Kokoroji thought it was normal. But one day, the man said he wanted to touch her. Until then, he had only taken her out, eaten with her, and paid her, like she was a rental girlfriend. The moment he said that, Kokoroji was shocked. Yuichi asks if she did anything, and she quickly says no, explaining that she ran away. Just then, Manabu appears and mocks her, saying he can't believe something like that happened, which only makes Kokoroji more distressed. She begs Yuichi to believe her, repeating that everything she said is true. At this moment, if Yuichi doesn't trust her, Kokoroji will completely break. In the control room, Maria and Tsukino watch. Maria asks if virginity really matters that much. Tsukino replies that everyone tries to act pure, even if they've done dirty things in the past. Back in the game, Yuichi tells Kokoroji that he doesn't care about what happened in junior high, and it doesn't matter to him at all. He says he trusts her completely. Then Yuichi leans in and whispers something into her ear, a secret we'll learn later. Maria asks Tsukino what Yuichi said, but Tsukino replies that she has no idea. She adds that Yuichi isn't an innocent boy either and probably has his own dark past. Kokoroji regains her resolve to continue the game, but asks Yuichi to stay by her side. She still blames Sawaraji, even though Sawaraji keeps defending herself. Kokoroji says she no longer trusts her. Later, Tenji asks Sawaraji what really happened with Kokoroji. Sawaraji says she only knows a little. She explains that at the start of high school, she once saw some boys bullying Kokoroji and helped her. One of the boys said Kokoroji was the kind of girl who would do anything for money. So if you enjoyed this anime and want the next episodes, don't forget to like and subscribe.